This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MALS. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it, and so do I. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. So I hope everything is good and grand on this lovely Wibblemont Wednesday for you. It's Wednesday, May the 14th, just in case you did not know, of 2025, day 134th of the year, and only 231 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big USA, Canada, UK.
Oh, yes, a little bit of everything, a little bit of everywhere. That's kind of how we do it. So always a good timer-imer as we are doing our thing. That is for sure. So how was your last 24 hours? Hopefully grand and perfecto. Yes, so let's talk real quick. Safety Mutation comes out yesterday. Getting some love across the board there in regards of, people seeming already to enjoy it. People reaching out. There was also a reference yesterday about the new Conklin conference. We released some additional info for that. So, yeah, Safety Mutation, people, reaching out yesterday, congratulating me on it. Yes, it is the second book in a month, I know. In regards to people giving some love, it's available on Kindle. It's available on paperback. Apparently, Audible has not released the audio version yet, but if you go to Soundwise, Soundwise has the audio version. If not, you can just go to safetymutation.com and it'll take you directly to where everything is listed. So, yeah, it's there. It's there for you to enjoy. And like I said, next month, another one will come out. And that's it. Then we sum it all up. It's over. Over. So there you go. Anyways, our show consists of safety in the news and safety. If you're kind of wondering what the hell we do around here, if you are interested to interact with the show, all you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. Once you do that, audio, video, and text messaging are the options that it'll give you right there. And then it's all party-arty from there. It's all a party. You go down that path, and it gives you all of the information that you need, and then it puts you into our system if you're so desired to do so. And then we'll get you in and go from there. That's kind of how it works. So our show consists of safety in the news. News and safety is the way that it is. So why don't we start talking about what the hell was trending?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, yes, Rated R Safety Show. And what was trending in the overnight? Well, let's talk about it. Elon Musk's most boring company notches major milestone. The Menendez brothers' resentencing hearing begins, and Beyonce sets the new record. We'll talk about that as we get into show business. Also, Janet Jackson to be honored with the Icon Award, and a Wicked musical heads to NBC, and Megan Sussex company teases a new product. We'll talk about that as we get into the Royals. So, all that's what's going on. So, if you're ready, I have my friends from Feature Story News ready to go. They're ready to talk. They're ready to give you the blockade of everything that's going on. So, let's do that. Let's get into the news right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President Donald Trump has met Syria's interim President Ahmed al-Shara in Saudi Arabia. It comes as the US announced a lifting of sanctions on Syria. President Trump says it gives the country a chance at greatness after Bashar al-Assad's government was ousted. Former US Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Jim Townsend says it's a step forward.
It's amazing to have an American president speaking with his counterpart. We've gone so long with that troubled country being torn by civil war, a crazy dictator running it, and now the American president is there. He's lifted the sanctions, and we'll see if Syria is able to find its feet and really make something of itself.
Local hospitals say 22 children have been killed in Gaza in overnight airstrikes by Israel. 48 people were killed in total, according to hospital officials. On Tuesday, Israel's Prime Minister insisted the military operation in Gaza would continue despite calls for a fresh ceasefire. China's criticised the UK-US trade deal announced last week. The deal the US reached with the UK includes strict security requirements for Britain's steel and pharmaceutical industries, which Beijing worries could be used to squeeze Chinese products out of supply chains. Laura Westbrook reports from Hong Kong.
Under the deal, the US and UK will cooperate on security aspects of their economic relationship, which experts say includes trying to reduce their reliance on Chinese money and components, especially in tech. The Financial Times report says that Beijing noted a basic principle of agreements between countries that they should not target other nations. Beijing has warned countries against signing trade deals with the US that threatens Chinese interests, over fears that President Donald Trump will use negotiations with America's trading partners to pressure them to cut China out of supply chains. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
India and Pakistan have expelled one diplomat each as tensions between the Asian neighbours continue to simmer. Exactly a week ago, India carried out airstrikes inside Pakistan, which sparked an armed conflict between the nuclear-armed neighbours. Hostilities ended after a ceasefire was announced on May the 10th. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
India's Ministry of External Affairs says the Pakistani diplomat was expelled for indulging in activities not in keeping with his official status. The ministry did not specify the exact nature of the diplomat's alleged transgression, but Pakistan retaliated soon after, expelling one Indian diplomat from Islamabad, citing similar reasons. The two sides have repeatedly downgraded ties in the past few years, most recently after the April 22 Pahalgam terrorist attack, for which India blames Pakistan. Islamabad has denied any responsibility. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today in more detail at President Trump's pledge to lift American sanctions that are in place against Syria. The new Syrian president, Ahmed al-Shara, who swept Bashar al-Assad from power last December, held a previously unannounced meeting with President Trump in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday. He has been seeking relief from American sanctions, arguing Syria's economy will remain crippled while they are in place.
So the question is, what's the substance behind it, and how's it going to play out?
Aaron David Miller, an advisor to 6 former secretaries of state, now with the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, says it's a big move by President Trump for a Syrian leader he cannot yet fully trust.
The question the administration has to ask itself is whether or not there will be any sort of reciprocity. What are the metrics that the U.S. is going to demand the new Syrian government? And let's give it a chance. I mean, it cannot be worse than the brutality and sadism and exponential cruelty and deaths of hundreds of thousands of Syrians. But what is the administration going to ask in terms of Syrian government behavior?
Some reports suggest the Syrians are offering the Americans access to the country's oil and other resources, an offer that may have caught the U.S. president's attention. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, US President Donald Trump met Syria's interim President Ahmed al-Shara in Saudi Arabia. Local hospitals say 22 children have been killed in Gaza in overnight airstrikes by Israel. China's criticised the UK-US trade deal announced last week, and India and Pakistan have expelled a diplomat each as tensions between the Asian neighbours continue to simmer. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. If you sign up now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things in mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author Jay Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yeah, bringing you information that you never knew that you cared about, that's for sure. That's what we do around here, trying to bring you some stuff of what's going on inside of the world of the multiverse. That is what's happening. Anyway, 17 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out doing our thingo. So let's get into it right away because there's some stuff to talk about. Promising numbers continue to roll in, showing up resilience for the economy despite the ongoing inflation pressure and weeks of looming tariff threats. Annual inflation measured at 2.3% year over year in April, according to the Department of Labor, a 4-year low and a 10th of a point below the economist's expectation that bolstered by the easing of the gas prices, is according to the Wall Street Journal. Tariff revenue spiked to over $16 billion in April and more than doubled the number from the year before. So, don't know if that's the good, the bad, or the ugly, but definitely some stuff to talk about as we are looking through our systems and going through everything that is happening. So there you go. Okay, among Elon Musk's lesser-known business endeavors, the Boring Company, its mission is to build tunnels in crowded cities to alleviate the traffic congestions. It was a basic system that already was in place for Las Vegas. On Tuesday, the company announced on X, of course, that it has innovated a new technology called Zip It, or Zero People in Tunnel, to automate the process to build of building. The system uses the giant boring machines to create a tunnel and simultaneously builds the structural ring that contains it. Along the video showing that the company explains that the same way that the full rapid reusable and the holy grail for rockets, Zip It continuous mining of the holy grail of the boring machines. This is the safest, fastest, least expensive architecture that builds tunnels. Worth remembering, Musk has touted rapid reusability at SpaceX for its dominance of the private space exploration technology. So, what do you think? I think you're going to have some stuff there that might make life a little bit interesting. That's what it sounds like. So what are you looking at? I mean, like, seriously, what are you looking at? No. But that's some stuff to think about. I mean, listen, the guy has some great tech. Or acquires great tech, or however you want to word it, because, you know, depending on who you talk to, it's a different story, different day. I don't know. I mean, look at some of the full self-driving car stuff that he already has out there. If you look at the tech alone, and what I always like is when you hear something about a accident that occurs in a Tesla, people are rapidly, the full self-driving was on. Well, sometimes you don't know that. And if you still look at it, it's among the safest cars. Sometimes it is the safest car that's in its category. Yeah, some stuff to think about. So I don't know. Don't know. Love them, hate them, or whatever. It's interesting on how it looks. Anyways, more Americans than ever are experimenting with the magic mushrooms. A study in Science Journal, of the internal medicine shows that a lifetime use, meaning that having ever tried the drug, rose from 10 to 12.1% in 2023. For young adults between 18 to 29, a recent use anytime last year ticked up to 44% between 2019 and 2023. For Americans 30 plus, recently soared at 188%. Overall in 2023, just over 2% of adults reported trying mushrooms at any point. This is according to PSY Post. Now I'm going to tell you something. I have a friend, an acquaintance, a partner in crime. I don't know what the hell you have to call a person. That, they travel outside of the country to partake in some festive mushrooms, if one may say it in that fashion. I mean, you have to do whatever you're going to do for yourself. But I mean, I think when you have something where you have to fly out of the country just to get it done, some stuff is going on for sure.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Yeah, entertainment, all right. Okay, a 1999 platinum Rolex Daytona is hitting the auction block. Sotheby's Genevieve is in possession of the legendary timepiece, which features the mother of pearl phase, set to 10 diamonds, and the watch is one of the 4 that were privately commissioned for the same family, each with a different face style, something that almost is unheard of for Rolex. Being the last one sold was expecting to get $1.7 million, and the other sold for around $3 million. That should give you some idea. For the record, Rolex didn't officially start using platinum on Daytona models until 2013, and making this find even more rare. This is according to NBC. So we just spent time talking about a timepiece of what people are doing. Do you want to see it? If you're on the video feed, I'm going to show it to you. This is what a $1.7 million timepiece, for us normal people, it's called a watch. I don't know. I say the same thing all the time. There's a market for everything. And you just have to find the person that's willing to pay for it. Would you pay that much for it? I mean, 1.7 is what is expected. Averagely goes around 3 million for a watch. For a watch, for a timepiece, as some people like to call it. It's a timepiece. So there you go. Okay, update. Kansas City Chiefs fan who developed a niche social media following has been sentenced to 32 years in prison for bank robbery. Xavier Babudar was better known for Chiefaholic, where he'd promote his favorite NFL team up the games in a wolf costume. But in December of 2022, he robbed a bank in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and was swiftly arrested. For a few months, he wore an ankle monitor, but ripped it off and went on a lam. What's a lam? He was then again swiftly apprehended. Authorities figured out that he was the suspect for multiple robberies in a variety of states. Last September, he was sentenced to 17 and a half years in prison for those. He's been sentenced now for the Tulsa incident. The judge is letting the 32-year state sentence run continually to his federal sentence. So that's according to Fox 23. So hold on. How many incidents did you have here? This is getting weird, man. It got weird quick. So I don't know. Yeah. For robbing a bank. Does not sound like a good swap. I would imagine that there's other ways to go about this. Just saying. You don't have to hate me for that. Just telling you. If you need money, I think there's other ways than doing it this way. I'm just kind of going through that. Some stuff to think about for sure. Like, seriously. I don't know. Just some strange stuff to think about when you go, oh, yeah, it's worth risking it all for a couple $1,000s. I don't know. Anyway, take a listen to this. Let's get into the swamp real quick. During the visit to Saudi Arabia as part of the swing through of the Middle East, President Trump announced $600 billion into investment from the country in the United States and said that he thinks that he can talk that number up to $1 trillion. Later, after giving a keynote speech at an investment conference, Trump said to the U.S. would ease sanctions on Syria in an effort to open the economy and further stabilize the region. The conference was the who's in the tech moguls, including Elon Musk, who was quietly disappeared from the spotlight in the recent weeks. So there you go. Some stuff to think about. Well, I mean, if his company was suffering, I can understand where he kind of vanished for a hot minute. Who knows what's going to happen? Okay, what else do we got? Let's talk about the numbers. The Dow slid 269 points, meaning that it was going, let's see, how do we say it? It's going down. Okay, so it's going down to close at 42,140 on Tuesday. The S&P ticked up, though, to 42 points, or
headed up
to 42 points to close at 5,886, and the NASDAQ climbed 301 points to close at 19,010. West Texas Intermediate closed at $63 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $66 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas is up to $3.15, and Bitcoin rebounded on Tuesday, trading back up around $104,000. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for a $106 million jackpot or a $48.2 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. So there you go. Okay, so let's talk about it because some people are going to want to know what's going on with
Diddy time. Diddy time.
So let's talk about the Sean Combs case and some stuff that happened yesterday. Casey Ventura took the stand on Tuesday in her ex-boyfriend Sean Combs' sex trafficking trial. She detailed her first attending one of the freak-offs, saying that she was fueled with alcohol and drugs before coerced into engaging in sexual acts with male escorts, which she called disgusting and overwhelming. Ventura shared on how the freakouts could go for days, during which she was forced to stay awake and participate for fear that the wrath of Combs. She revealed that the hotel rooms where the freak-offs that took place would be left damaged and Combs would pay someone to take care of the mess. The topic of baby oil use was brought up, which she addressed, saying more than 10 bottles were used per party. That tracks to with more than 1,000 bottles recovered at the feds from Combs' home. The Ventura husband's personal trainer, Alex Fine, was present for some of her testimony. This is according to CNN. Yeah, CNN. Remember, there's no cameras inside of this thing, so it's not like I can show you some video of what was said. So, seems pretty interesting as we are talking. I'm sure that we're going to get more stuff as things go about. So let's see what ends up happening there when it's all said and done. Okay, Eric and Lyle Menendez, resentencing hearing started yesterday. It was all about whether the brothers have been rehabilitated enough to join the free world. Prior to the hearing, LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman said that even if the brother's sentence for murdering their fathers is reduced, he feels that they should still serve life without parole for killing their mother. The hearing continues today, and the brothers are expected to address the court. Remember, Governor Gavin Newsom can still grant clemency. This is according to the New York Post. It'll be interesting to see what happens. That's for sure. Okay, Beyonce has set new records for Cowboy Carter Tour, grossing $55.7 million during the first 5 shows. The Los Angeles SoFi Stadium, that's where that occurred. The number makes it the highest grossing single venue engagement ever by a woman. It is also the 5th highest grossing tour to run in Billboard's box score history, behind the 2 legs of U2's Sphere residency in 2023, Harry Styles' lengthy residency in Madison Square Garden in 2022, and the 8 nights that take that at Wembley Stadium in 2011. Bey reported earning $11.1 million per show, playing for nearly about 45,000 fans a night. This is according to The Blast. Let me give you another one here. Metallica caused a minor earthquake while performing Enter Sandman at the Lane Stadium in Virginia Tech last week. During the show, Virginia Tech seismology observation, located around a mile away, detected the quake, which didn't quite hit a 1 on the Richter scale. The rock band is currently on their M72 world tour. By the way, Enter Sandman has been played in the past 2 decades as the Virginia Tech hockey's football team take the field. This is according to People magazine. Let me give you one more real quick. The Weeknd still isn't sure if he's ready to say goodbye to his stage name. Since January, he's been teasing that after the 6th album Hurry Up Tomorrow drops, that he'll go back to his birth name. But now The Weeknd says that maybe the album signifies a rebirth and he'll just stick with his alter ego. Go with the alter ego. It's the best way to do it. That's the way that I look at it. Okay, so with that being said, 32 minutes past the top of the hour, and let's do that main story thing.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yes, main story time, as we do all the stuff that we get to do inside of the world of the multiverse. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff kind of going through, and a lot of stuff that we kind of question when it's all said and done. So let's talk for a hot minute. And let's talk about some of the things that we continue to see inside of our workplaces that we just don't know what to do. We don't know what to say. And it seems like we have systems that are quote unquote adaptable to the things that we have going on. So inside of work, you know that we have those written rules and the unwritten rules. And then we have that weird thing that a lot of us do that we just don't know what the hell's going on. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that from the standpoint of, hey, there's a lot of stuff that happens and we kind of take a look around and go, this is weird. So why don't we talk a little bit more about this, that, and the other? And some people say, no, we're not talking about shit. So we'll just continue moving on with life. So with that being said, I want you to think about a couple of things. Think about at your workplace about a rule that exists that's not written down. A rule that exists that no one talks about. But it's the underlining rule. You know you have some of those. There are some of those inside of your workplace. The reason I reference this is because we look at those as systems. We look at those things as, okay, this is occurring and there's a reason why this is occurring. And as we go through part of this, look at the bigger picture. Why is it that we allow this? Why is it that we allow to have these fake quote unquote systems that exist and nobody says anything? Now, I remember a long time ago watching this video about a monkey. And what it consisted of was I think it was like 10 monkeys inside of a cage. And what would happen is they put some bananas at the top of this ladder where these 10 monkeys were. And the monkeys would go up and down the ladder and grab the bananas. Not a problem. They all enjoyed it. Everything was fine. Then they got to the point where the bananas were put in, and when one monkey would go up, the 9 on the bottom would get sprayed. Okay? That's what would happen. So it got to the point then where the monkey would go up the ladder, and when they were trying to go up the ladder, the other 9 would actually grab a hold of the monkey just because the other ones got soaked and tried to stop them, even though they knew that there were going to be bananas at the top. So then they periodically started trading out the monkeys. And what ended up happening? All of a sudden, no monkey would allow any monkey to go up the ladder, even though now there was no bananas and nobody was getting sprayed, because the habit had occurred inside of the workplace. The habit had went through. And why am I mentioning this? Because this is how some of these weird rules occur. We grow accustomed to habits. We grow accustomed to the things that were before. That's how we've always done it. So we'll continue to do it in this particular fashion. And that's where the problem comes about. Because then all of a sudden you have somebody come in with some new ideas. You have someone who wants to do this and that, and the idea automatically people are like, no. Duh. And they say this because this is how we've always done it and we can't change it. Now, let me give you a Matrix reference, of course, because why would we not do that? If you look at the first Matrix movie, where Neo and Trinity are going to the building to save Morpheus, he wants all kinds of guns. That's what he references. And she keeps on referencing to him that she does not know if it's going to work because nobody's ever done this like this before. And he in turn tells her, that's why I know it's going to work. Now listen, I'm not saying you're Neo in the Matrix or you're Trinity, neither one. But we're giving this for reference purposes. Doesn't it feel a lot of the times that that's what we do? When something new is coming into our system, when something new is coming in where we start going, okay, this is going to be a different approach, we kind of hold back and say, maybe this is not the greatest idea. And the reason that we say this is because in turn, now we have a level of fear of what's going to happen next. We have a level of fear that this could change stuff. And then we have these unwritten rules on people going, well, we can't change anything because our unwritten rule says, well, we did this in the past. Think about it. It happens time and time again at workplaces across the world. And you've seen them. And you know what I'm talking about. And there's that weirdness thing about the whole thing about how we do this. So think about that. It might take you somewhere. How can you change this inside of your workplace? What will be different? Or will you just continue to be stagnant and go with what's going on already? Because some people prefer that.
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com. It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Job comes in. They make it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering qualified hires versus leading competitors. I have to tell you that we have used LinkedIn Jobs to even find some of the people that we have here at Safety FM. LinkedIn Jobs can help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free on LinkedIn.com/SafetyFM. That's LinkedIn.com/SafetyFM to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to tell them that you heard it right here on Safety FM.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK. This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found. Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks. So with the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
Some of the best things in life come to those who wait, but we ain't waiting for shit. Radio Big.
Okay, Radio Big, Safety FM, I'll be your love. I'll be your sunshine. 45 minutes past the top of the hour. Yeah, this right here. This is some sunshine coming your way. This is by LUCØ. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Oh, yeah. You know we're in the techno mix now. Okay, so let's get the hell out of here, man. We'd like to thank LUCØ for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. So let's go ahead. Yeah, some good times there. Oh, you see, that songs like that can get dangerous for me, because then I just don't want to stop them. Okay, so here we go. Let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And the people at To Write Love on Our Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now and that things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, there's going to be information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. There's more things on there as well. And there's all kinds of phone numbers that are listed. If you're in the U.S., you can dial 741-741, or that's the U.S. and Canada. If you are in the U.K., do 852-58 with the word shout. If you are in, Ireland, text the word home to 50808. If you need the National Suicide Lifeline, call or text 988. Just to get you there. So there you go. TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. So there you go. Let's talk real quick about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Come fly with me, the world's first mass-produced flying car, the Air Car, has just unveiled by Slovakian Klein Vision, revealed in the 2025 Living Legend Aviation Gala. When even Prince Harry got a look, the car can switch from car to plane in under 2 minutes, and it was already clocked at 170 flights hours, more than 500 takeoffs and landings. With a certificate of airworthiness in hand, it is expected to cost between $750,000 to $940,000. The first models will go top speed of 120 miles per hour and should be available in 2026. Klein's Vision founder, Stefan Klein, calls it a dream come true, blending the road and sky into a new kind of travel. So 2026, the year of my neighbors start complaining about low-flying sedans. I mean, just think about it for a moment. Just saying. So the other thing to think about here, and I'm just going to reference this. You know how sometimes we want to be the first ones on doing something? Like, hey, that'd be kind of cool to do. I don't know if this is really a first-gen kind of thing that you really want.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Seriously, I mean, like, would you want the first generation of this? I'm just asking. Anyways, a Polish company called Wibblemont says that it has built something straight out of Star Wars, a real-life flying speeder bike. The new creation, the Air Bike, is a sleek one-person vehicle that can supposedly fly up to 124 miles per hour. Unlike typical drones and hover bikes, it doesn't use propellers. Instead, it's powered by jet propulsion and stabilizes by a smart flight computer that lets you hover and stay easy to control. Inventor Tabas Patan spent months refining the design and finally achieving a stable flight in May of 2023. Details are still scarce. And let's see. Through no word yet has anything been sold and how much it will cost. So you still have a little bit before you can get yourself flying around. Like a teenager. Oh, there's a video for it? It's a 3-minute video. That sounds crazy. Okay, so let's do this. Let's bring some John Smalls into our life because I think that that's going to be important right now. And let him tell us about what the hell is going on with the Motivation Minute. That way he can keep us motivated.
IRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Lydia. There's a great anonymous quote that says, "Fall 7 times and stand up 8. I live by this. I have fallen so many times I've lost count, but I always stand back up each and every time." There's nothing wrong with falling. It's all part of the process. It's like the sales process. If you can't take no for an answer, don't get into sales. It's important to learn how to gracefully take a no. And if you can't accept a no, you don't deserve a yes. I always keep in mind each no is one step closer to a yes. So when somebody says no, thank them and then follow up later. And if you're a good person with a good opportunity, someday you just might get a yes. But today, it's a no.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. The books that speak to you may not be the same ones that speak to me. That's okay. The important thing is to find books that nourish your soul and call you to new life in Christ. The books that appeal to you will likely vary over time. On more than one occasion, I've started reading a highly recommended book, only to lay it aside in frustration. Sometimes I will return to the same book later and find I cannot put it down. I'm in a different season of life, and now my soul literally resonates with the author's message. Proverbs 3 says, "Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding." Lord, bless those writers who faithfully use the gifts you have given them. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
A military airstrike in Myanmar's central Sagaing region struck a school in Ohe Tine Twin Village on Monday, resulting in the deaths of up to 22 individuals.
Myanmar's military denied responsibility for the attack, attributing it to opposition forces. However, eyewitnesses and aid workers confirmed the strike and accused the military of deliberately targeting civilian areas. The opposition National Unity Government condemned the attack, warning the death toll may rise. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Poland has ordered the closure of Russia's consulate in Krakow, citing Moscow's alleged involvement in an arson attack that destroyed a shopping center in Warsaw last year.
The decision to shut down the consulate marks a significant diplomatic move by Poland. Foreign Minister Radek Sikorski stated that the closure is a response to Russia's hostile actions on Polish soil. The Russian government has yet to respond to the consulate's closure. Joseph Ickerson reporting.
Kurdish militant group PKK has announced its decision to disband and disarm as part of a new peace initiative with Turkey, ending 4 decades of armed conflict.
The PKK's decision follows negotiations aimed at achieving lasting peace. Turkish officials have welcomed the announcement, expressing hope for a new era of stability. The disarmament process is expected to be monitored by international observers. Both parties aim to implement the agreement fully in the coming months.
This is the latest news headlines.
President Donald Trump has embarked on a 4-day tour of the Middle East with planned visits to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates.
During his visit, President Trump is expected to focus on business development and trade agreements. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have pledged significant investments in the United States. The trip also includes discussions on Iran's nuclear program and the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The president's itinerary underscores the administration's commitment to deepening relationships with Gulf nations. Lawrence Keller reporting.
The U.S. and China have agreed to to temporarily reduce tariffs for 90 days, easing tensions in their ongoing trade dispute.
Under the deal, the U.S. will lower tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% to 30%, while China will reduce tariffs on American products from 125% to 10%. The temporary reductions aim to provide a window for further negotiations. Both sides expressed optimism about reaching a more comprehensive trade agreement. Kyle Norris reporting.
Stock markets surged on Monday following the announcement of the U.S.-China tariff truce.
Investors reacted positively to the easing of trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. The agreement is projected to add 0.4 percentage points to U.S. economic growth this year. Retailers and tech companies saw notable gains, with companies like Amazon and Nike benefiting from the market rally. Kevin Sanders reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Tearing the ass out of you like gas station sushi.
Hey, I don't make these things. I just kind of come up with them. So there you go. So let's talk real quick about some things that happened back on this date. Back in, let's see. Let's do this. Let's go back to 1998. The two-part finale of Seinfeld airs on NBC with 76.3 million viewers tuned in to watch. Commercials during the time slot were $2 million for 30 seconds. $2 million for 30 seconds. That happened back on this date, back in 1998. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Miranda Cosgrove turns 32. Rob Gronkowski turns 36. Dustin Lynch, 40. Mark Zuckerberg, face of Facebook, turns 41. Amber Tamblyn turns 42. Sophia Coppola turns 55. Kate Blanchett, 56. Greg Davies turns 57. Tim Roth, 64. And George Lucas turns 81 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, National Receptionist Day and National Dance Like a Chicken Day. If you want to take some videos of that and send them that general direction, that's fine too. We can do it that way. If you need a rando-ando for today, some people drink from the fountain of knowledge and others just gargle. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What to you is the most rewatchable TV series of all time? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. More than 75% of us own this item, but less than half actually work what it is. Well, actually, less of us half actually work. What is it? It's a flashlight. Yeah, if you don't change the batteries out, it's kind of a hard time. Anyways, that's it. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. That is what we will be doing. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. If you can hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he hangs out right here and talks about the world of safety consulting. So there you go. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Keep that in mind. It might take you places as we are talking. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
I'll be in love.